Hey, Randy Joe here, and welcome back to the channel where today we are going to be listening to the next album in the Cocteau Twins discography, that of course being the 1986 record, Victorialand. Before we get started today, I just want to say if you want to see the full unedited reaction to this album right here, as well as every other Cocteau Twins album reaction I've done so far, check out the Patreon in the description down below. For $5 a month, you get every single video I've done unedited, including this one here. Now, if you've been following, you've been listening to every Cocteau Twins album in release order, of course, and the last one we saw was Treasure, an album that I thoroughly enjoyed when I listened to it on the channel here, and have since only continued to love it more and more with each listen. In fact, I would say that it is just as solid and just as well-rounded as Heaven or Las Vegas, which is, the only record I was really familiar with before this discography kind of run through. But I especially love the very moody atmosphere of Treasure and also the somewhat sort of optimism that kind of shines through some of the tracks. It definitely feels like they have, at that point, crafted their sound to a perfect T, kind of combining what we know with the later half of their discography, and as well as combining the kind of gothic origins that they stem from. But with this next release, I'm not too familiar with it. I haven't heard as much about this one, but I have seen some fans in my comments say that they love Victorialand as well as their LP following this one, the Bluebell Knolls, I believe it's called. But as for Victorialand, with only 9 tracks and 32 minutes, it is once again a pretty short record. One thing I love about Cocteau Twins is they don't waste time in their LP. They make every minute count, and they make them nice, quick, and punchy to boot. It is, in my opinion, a really great formula that they have going here. So without further ado, let's check out Victorialand. Like I said, 9 tracks, 32 minutes. The first one here, Lazy Calm. And let's crank that volume up, of course. Let's go. Oh boy. That guitar already sounds heavenly. It seems they have lost their bassist. Once again, Simon Raymond not taking part on this LP. A pretty lengthy open to it, 6.5 minutes. I'm so warm and just kind of drenched in this sense of nostalgia. Man, this one's beautiful. Real ambient sort of focus on it. Just kind of drifting. I'm getting lost in it. Ooh. Love the kind of reverb, those effects, really echoey. God, this is gorgeous. Our sax here, Richard Thomas of Diff. I love it. This is gorgeous. Reminds me a lot of a more modern record, of course, that being Urapaya by George Clanton. Heavily recommend you check that one out if you're unfamiliar. Has this similar kind of dream pop appeal to it, and he's one of the best musicians, I would say, working today for sure. But You Hold the Key and I Found It off that record specifically has the same sort of dreamy atmosphere with this soft sort of horn. So check that out if you dig this track. Oh, there's Elizabeth Fraser coming in. What a lush and beautiful atmosphere this one has. Just so transportive, easy to get lost in. Love how slow and kind of meticulous it feels. Yeah, very laid back. what a perfect title as well. Lazy Calm kind of fits just how much of a sinking feeling this track really has. My God, and our sax man. What a aura he brings to the whole thing. That makes it just feel even more like hypnotic and meditative. What a incredible open. Wow, what a way to open things. Such a soft open as well. Really sets the stage for maybe a more ambient and laid-back focused LP, which I'm fully on board with. I know they collab with Harold Budd the same year, actually, following this record, which I'm greatly interested in checking out. That will be the next video, of course. But yeah, give me more ambient releases in the vein of the world that Cocteau Twins creates. Here's Fluffy Tufts, I believe is the name of this one. Yeah, Tufts. 3 minutes. The rest are going to be that 3-minute mark because they took so much time with that opener, but I loved it. I love her there it is. Her double vocals, always perfectly executed. A nice softness on them. Our guitarist, what's his name again? Robin Guthrie. I feel like he's really shining through on this record especially too. Creating these gorgeous textures. That almost seems simple, but it's a certain kind of almost a realm he's locking into. This could quite be maybe their dreamiest record so far. Wow. Let's go to the next one. Throughout the dark months of April and May, which is opening with a bit of a gloomier tone. Maybe a bit of irony in that title, considering April and May are seen as some of the more optimistic and sunnier months, and to put dark months up alongside, of course, a sense of irony. I feel like, when you think of dark months, you're thinking the Burr months, the end of the year. Which, speaking of, I feel like Cocteau Twins and Fall are the perfect duo. Very fitting to check them out at this time. Definitely a bit more gothic this time around this one. It's got a more tense and brooding performance there on the guitar. Certainly a tension in the air. What a beautiful melody, as simple and as I would say minimal as it seems. Wow, that was a nice one. Definitely a lot more minimal than the first two, but which is saying a lot because so far this record does have a much more kind of simplistic and minimal approach, which I thoroughly enjoy. It feels like a nice sort of shift in tone a little bit. Here's Whale's Tales. Let's keep it going. 3 million streams on this one. Robin certainly loves those kind of washed out reverby effects on his guitar. He's got his foot on the pedal. Oh, I love that kind of vocal escalation there. That this escalation and that sort of trilling that she adds to it. A beautiful and meditative approach. Kind of keeps you hanging on to every non-word that Elizabeth spews out. She really has a knack for kind of channeling the music vocally. Let's go to the next one. I like that one. Not a lot to say about it. Just a great atmosphere once again. Love the vocals from Elizabeth. I feel like she, like I said, I feel like she has a great way of just kind of channeling and mimicking the melody in a way that's very catchy and just impressive and beautiful. Here's Mac. Her vocal style reminds me a lot of what a lot of musicians do, where they kind of just hum or make different kind of vocal inflections as a way to try to find a melody and try to find lyrics to put to it. But instead of putting lyrics officially to it, she just kind of settles on the atmosphere, really. This drum machine. Boom, 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 boom. Very kind of cyclical. All the way it rises, comes down, and we spin all the way around. Such an angelic voice here. Very airy, this delivery. Beautiful. That's a solid one. Let's go into a little spacey. Loved Mac. Just love the very, again, meditative element. I feel like this record is the most meditative of all theirs, simply because it has a bit more of a ambient focus to it. And this track here, a little spacey, has me interested because it's already been a really spacey record. So are we getting another very even more spacey track? And I love their use of the drum machine in a lot of their LPs. It's almost like a nice, almost metronome effect. Oh, love these multi-layered vocals. It's like an Elizabeth Fraser choir coming together. That was a beautiful one too. Very spacey. Let's keep it going. Feet Like Fins. Nothing much to say about a lot of this LP. It's just I think they have mastered their sense of production and their sense of style at this point. That I have not been let down at all in this LP. I just feel like this is a perfect LP to put on You know, maybe a nice kind of come down of a day, a nice relaxing sort of fall day. Just let it breeze over you. Feet like fins. And how they could craft a sound that feels like your dreams with such ease. Magnificent. Love the rapid guitar playing. Definitely one of the slowest tracks on here. And very repetitive. Oh. Oh. Changed my mind. We got some sort of bongos coming in as well. Seems I got my foot in my mouth. What a incredible shift this has been. Love the bongos, it sounds like, coming in. Again, it adds another flavor, another texture to just how laid back and vast this feels. I love this, like, again, shining optimism in this outro here. Such a sense of glee on it. Especially that incredible guitar by Robin, once again, who is shining on all these tracks. Here's How to Bring a Blush to Snow. Great titles, too, on all these tracks. Nothing to say about this one. It's probably my least favorite of the batch so far. That wispy nature of theirs coming through as well pretty greatly with Fraser on the backing vocals here. The way she kind of just pans from left to right over and over again, like a ghost-like figure. Yeah, not much to say about that one. I guess more of the same is really my main takeaway. It was okay. Not a bad track. But let's close it up with The Thinner, The Air. The final track here. An LP that is short, but also flies by with just how meditative and beautiful it is. Love that piano. Kind of just cuts through the mix there. It's like a real jolt of energy. Oh. And that bass in the background, it sounds like. Dun, dun. Dun, dun. I love the way this is all just slowly coming together. Oh, she feels so haunted on her vocals this time. There's a brooding darkness. We are sifting through a smoky atmosphere here. Wow, a beautiful, dark, brooding closer. Love the vocals from Fraser there, especially. I feel like they had a much more dark atmosphere to them, especially when compared to how much more optimistic and nostalgic she has felt in the last couple of records. This one felt like a little bit more of a return to that gothic form, which I could say for a lot of this record, and even Treasure, of course. There is still that gothic element that they haven't dropped entirely, which I think adds a nice kind of twist onto the sense of nostalgia. It's beautiful, it's brooding, it's dark, it's meditative and atmospheric. Victorialand is probably their most ambient project so far. I know their next record with Harold Budd, that being The Moon and the Melodies, is obviously going to be a lot more ambient in its focus, with Harold being such an incredible ambient musician. However, Victorialand in its own right, with just the Cocteau twins, is some great, beautiful sort of, ambient work in the vein of Cocteau Twins records. So loved it. Lazy Calm is definitely the standout. It kicks things off with an incredible almost 7 minutes of just beautiful, dreamy, kind of nostalgic haziness, I would say, especially that saxophone that comes in as well makes things even more kind of meditative and spiritual, which I feel like, is an incredible track, and one of the best tracks in the Cocteau Twins discography already at this point, I would say. Like, it just really blew me away, whereas the rest of the record was still very solid, but it doesn't reach necessarily that same height, but still, again, incredibly easy to get lost in, like a lot of good Cocteau Twins tracks are. But unlike, some of their other records, which might have maybe a catchy riff to it or a catchy melody to kind of keep you a little bit more upbeat and grounded, this one kind of lets you get lost in the sauce and just kind of drifts out into its beautiful sort of arrangements, really. So Victorialand, an incredible and solid follow-up to Treasure, I would say, and honestly a pleasant listen on the ears at 32 minutes. It's a nice quick LP that packs a lot of punch in its very meditative state. Please hit like and subscribe to follow along and listen to more records alongside myself. Of course, we're going to continue with Cocteau Twins. We're listening to new records as they come out. We're doing Pink Floyd. We're closing out their discography very shortly. So if that sounds interesting to you, subscribe to the channel and check out the Patreon down below in the description. For $5 a month, you can watch every video I've done this year. That includes Cocteau Twins, that includes Bjork, that includes Pink Floyd, and that includes all the new records that have come out this year that I've checked out as well. For $5 a month, unedited, that is a pretty good deal, if I do say so myself. But as always, my name is Randy Joe. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you enjoying the video, and I'm signing off.